asking me about, and that's why I do these videos. So it's not for one particular person. And the reason I want to say this to you today is because I want you to understand that if this is something that you're feeling, you're not alone. And just because it's not widely spoken about doesn't mean that it's not widely experienced, okay? So what you'll get out there in the weight loss world is people telling you what nutrition plan or diet plan to try. Maybe they'll get into fitness, but they're not talking about a lot of these other things that are so much, I would say, so much more effective, okay? Sure, it matters what you eat. It matters if you're moving your body. Absolutely, those things are really important, but they're not sustainable for anybody if they don't do the work on themselves to realize why they're at the place that they're at in the first place, because they're just going to get back up to it, right? So it's so important for us to talk about these deeper issues too. Hey, Roseanne. So, all right, today's 30-second shift that you can make to start working your weight loss goals is all about what you're thinking and what you're telling yourself, okay? So in general, here's how the science works. This is not just a woo-woo kind of a thing, okay? If you're into the woo-woo, that's fine. I can be also, but this is really scientific, and this is really about changing your physical health and your physical body, okay? The things that we tell ourselves put us into a position where we're either going to use it as a jumping off point to make the change, or we're going to use it as an excuse to stay the same. So here's the thing. If you're telling yourself that it's going to be hard to get to where you want to get, or it's going to take too long, or you're really out of shape, or you've never been able to do it before, or you're lazy. These are things I hear all the time. I'm too lazy. I don't have time. All of these things, when you're speaking to the negativity, forget about the I don't have time. That's kind of a little bit of a different thing, although it can fit in here. But let's just talk about the things you're saying about yourself. You're saying that you're lazy. You're saying you're out of shape. You're saying that you can't do it. You've never done it before. All of these things that you're saying about yourself are actually going to get in the way of your physical change, okay? We're not just talking about not saying those things because you want to be happy. Of course I want you to be happy, but it's more than that. You actually will not lose the weight if you don't work on this whole thing. Oh, Roseanne says having trouble hearing. Uh-oh. Roseanne, is it like cutting in and out, or I'm just not speaking loud enough? I'm going to keep going until I find out. Okay, so if you can actually think about the things that you tell yourself as being the place either where you're going to make a change from or not, then that can start to get you on the right track of what to say, okay? So if you think about a time when you're actually like in the zone, think about a time where you were like, yeah, I got this, I'm confident. Maybe it was something you did at work. Maybe it was a really cool parenting decision that you made sometime in the near recent past that you made some sort of a decision. I'm back, it's my phone. Oh, okay, Roseanne, thank you for letting me know. Sometime in the recent past that you made some sort of a decision or a commitment that you felt really confident about. Think about how that flow state really felt to you, right? You felt confident. You were probably telling yourself like, oh, I can do this. This is great. All of those things, that's not the result of you actually being confident to reach your goal. That's actually the starting place where you felt confident. So let me tell you what I mean in the whole weight loss terms. If you tell yourself that you're out of shape, you will then operate from a place of being out of shape. Things will feel harder to you. When you look in the mirror, you're going to look for the areas that are quote unquote out of shape. If you tell yourself that your journey to get to where you want to go has to be hard, you will self-sabotage in order to make it feel hard. Because you're telling yourself it's got to be hard. And so if it doesn't feel hard, it feels like you're not on the right path. And so you will literally get in your own way without you realizing it in order to make it harder for yourself. You won't allow it to just come easily to you, okay? If you tell yourself that you're lazy, your brain will scan for things that you've done in the past that you can call yourself lazy for, okay? I don't believe anyone's actually lazy. I think it's really procrastination, and it usually comes from perfectionism. You don't want to do something until you can do it perfectly, so you procrastinate. You don't do anything, you sit on the couch, and then you call yourself lazy. And it's just this vicious cycle that keeps going. You're not lazy. I don't really think anybody's lazy. So it's really important what you're feeding your mind. Now, if you're not feeling confident, it doesn't mean that you have to go and be like, I'm the most confident person in the world. I feel totally comfortable that I can do this. No, but could you get a little bit to neutral? Can you stop saying the negative things about yourself and at least say, I've done some pretty awesome things in the past. Let's see if it can translate over to my health goals. I'm pretty confident that I figured it out before. I'm sure I could figure it out again. It doesn't have to be where you put yourself in this place where you're the most amazing, healthy, fit, and strong person you've ever seen. Not right away, right? If that feels off to you, it doesn't have to be there. But just pay attention to the things that you're saying to yourself, okay? You can no longer say to yourself, I am out of shape. I am lazy. I can't do this. Those are things that are actually going to get in the way of you actually making progress, okay? So what happens then is that you tell yourself that you're out of shape, you can't do it, but then you try anyway, and then you're not able to make the progress because you're feeling down on yourself, and the easiest opportunity that you have to take the different path, the comfortable path, you're gonna take that because your brain's like feeling beat up, and it's gonna seek comfort in the food. It's gonna seek comfort in you skipping your workout, right? But if you can actually be the person that says, I got this, and you don't have to have all the answers, right? My clients, they've hired me to help them, to guide them, and they can say, I'm just gonna do what Tara's telling me to do, baby steps little bit by little bit, but I've got this, right? They can still say I've got this because they've got their plan. You can hire somebody else. You could try to do this on your own. I'm not saying to hire me. I'm just letting you know that taking on that feeling of I got this can mean lots of different things. You can feel confident in having a plan, in knowing that it might not even be the plan that you stick with, but you're trying something. You're going down the path. You're not staying stuck, okay? And you're not giving yourself those negative, feeding yourself those negative thoughts that are actually going to make you backtrack and go in the opposite direction. So the 30-second change that you can make right now is to tell yourself every time that you hear yourself saying that you're out of shape, that you're lazy, that you can't do it, that it's too hard, you're going to replace that thought with something else. You don't need to beat yourself up over it, okay? That's not going to help you either, but you're going to simply replace that thought. So you tell yourself, I'm out of shape, and then you go, wait a minute. I'm not out of shape. I'm working on a goal. This is my starting point, and this is where I'm going. Bam, you're done. Okay, next time that negative thought comes into your head or you actually speak the words out loud, you stop yourself again. Eventually, over time, you will have trained yourself to not have those negative thoughts. It does take time, so be patient with yourself. But once you've done that, you will find that you have so much more motivation. You have so many less excuses, okay? Because one person's excuses are another person's challenges. Somebody can look at something as an excuse. I don't have enough time, so therefore I'm not going to do it. And the same person can have the same schedule and say, okay, it's a little challenging, but I'm going to figure out ways that I can fit it in, right? And then they feel like superstars because they're like, oh my gosh, I just had the busiest schedule ever, and I still stuck to a 10-minute workout. Or I still got 1-minute workouts in throughout the day. Or I still went for my 20-minute walk super early. I just woke up early. Whatever it is, one person can think of something as an excuse, and the other person with the exact same situation can think of it as a puzzle that they're figuring out. And you know what the difference is between the two of them? Their mindset. The difference is whether or not they feel confident that they can figure it out. And all that takes is you talking to yourself differently. You can be the person that boosts your own confidence, not because you start looking different. You actually boost your confidence first, and then you make the changes that actually make you start feeling and looking different, if that's your goal. Okay, so the confidence comes first. I just made a post on Instagram and Facebook, actually. So scroll back. The post right before this one is all about how I used to hate posting selfies. I used to hate doing these videos. I used to cringe when I would hear my own voice. I didn't want to put myself out there because I was making it about something it wasn't. This isn't about me, right? This is about me showing up because I'm helping other people. And I don't care if I don't look okay, or I don't care if somebody else doesn't like my voice. They can find somebody else to follow, right? But this is just about getting the job done. And the same thing goes for you. If this is about getting the job done for you, you want to improve your health, you want to lose some excess body fat, you want to live till 120 like I'm going to live to 120. It's all about just gaining the confidence first by speaking to yourself in a different way, and then you will start to look at things as just little challenges and not roadblocks. Okay? You will start to find a way. It'll start to become who you are. It'll start to become a part of your identity. But the first thing that has to go is the negative self-talk. Okay? It's not woo-woo, it's science. You're not going to go out for that workout if you're telling yourself that you're out of shape and you suck and all of this stuff. Not going to happen. Okay? And you probably know this, because if this is you, if you're telling yourself that you're out of shape or whatever, you probably have not reached your goal. Or if you've reached your goal, you've probably then backtracked before. And you need to get back on track all the time. You might be the one that's saying, I'm going to start on Monday, I'm going to start again, I'm going to do all, every new year is the same resolution. If that's you, there's probably a lot of negative self-talk going on. If you are brave enough to continue this conversation, write a comment here. Tell me what things that you've said to yourself before, or if it's easier, let me know what the new things you're going to replace with. Tell me the new thoughts. When you've got some negative self-talk going on, what are you going to say to yourself instead? Can you reach back from a time that you were strong, that you were confident? And can you draw upon that to prove to yourself in the moment that you can do this? You've done hard things before and you could do hard things again, right? I'm sure you've done hard things in the past. I'm sure you've gotten over some sort of a difficult time, schooling, trauma. We don't need to be sharing any of those things if you don't want to, but I'm sure there's been something from your past that's been difficult and challenging, and it felt like you were never going to get through it. And you've gotten through it, right? So draw upon that when you're telling yourself that you can't do this next big thing, because you can. And a big thing, a big goal, really is just a series of consecutive smaller goals. That's the way I teach with my clients. That's the way that I coach, right? We take the big goal, we figure out where you're going, we draw motivation on the thought of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be there, it's amazing. And then we take it and we break it down into the smallest bite-sized pieces. Because once you can do step A and you feel confident, and you can move to step B, C, D, before you know it, you've gone the whole alphabet in. That's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever said. But whatever, you get the point. So you break it up into baby steps so that you can manage it. And I help you do that. And we put it in sequential order so that you're getting a result right away. From that result that you feel so confident in, you're going to the next step. You're building your confidence as you build your results along the way. You're getting results the whole way, you're feeling better the whole way, and you're moving yourself towards that ultimate goal. But along the way, you're feeling like you're stronger, mentally. Physically too, but mentally, you're stronger. You could take on more. And people come to me and tell me, but Tara, you're not a life coach, but I'm happier. My relationships are better and all that stuff. No, I'm not a life coach. I'm a health, nutrition, fitness coach. That's what I do. But when you change that one huge part of your life and you start to feel like you can do it, you start to look at other areas in your life differently. You start to look at other things that you can tackle. You start to find time. You start to do better with your time management. And all of a sudden, you find that you're getting better results in other areas of your life, just because it's that snowball effect, right? You start on yourself, your health, your fitness, your nutrition, you feel better, and then it snowballs from there. So the 30-second shift, what are you going to do? You're going to stop the negative self-talk, and once you hear yourself saying it out loud or just in your head, you're going to replace it with something that's either positive or at least just neutral. Like, hey, Tara, I can do this. I'm doing it right now. Okay, Tara, it's fine that you're here at this point, but what can we do now? We're moving forward. I know I'm strong because remember those times that I went through X, Y, and Z in the past? I'm here now. I've made it through those traumas. And so here's the next thing that I can do. Use what you've gone through in the past to propel yourself forward and know your own strength. Okay? 30-second shift. It's not just woo-woo, it's science. I promise you'll actually see physical results. You'll actually feel physical results if you do this. Let me know in the comments if you're game, if you're going to try this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hey, Mac, sorry I'm going. See you later. Bye.